guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kauthar. If this is your very first time here, and you're absolutely welcome to my channel. I share a lot of crochet tutorials, particularly explaining how to work with crochet diagrams so that you can make a wide variety of crochet projects. And in this particular tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to work with this diagram that I have right here in front of me. This is a crochet stitch, it's a lacy stitch, and I'm just going to be showing you how to interpret and work with this diagram. But before we go further, please make sure you subscribe to my channel down below and click on the bell icon so every time I post a video, you're the first person to watch that video. Now that that is out of the way, let's get on into this diagram. Now for this diagram, the very first thing we want to do is to write out all the icons we can see as well as what they represent, so that whenever you get to that icon in the diagram, you know what you're supposed to be doing. And there are just 3 different icons in this diagram. It's a very easy stitch, and the very first icon, there are these small oval shapes here at the base of the diagram, and those ones represent chain. Like each one of them represents a chain, so I'm just writing that at the bottom here. And then the next ones we can see is this long bar that looks like a T, but then has another horizontal bar across. So a vertical bar with 2 horizontal bars across, and that represents a double crochet. I'm just writing that down here as well. Then the last icon we can see is this small plus icons. They're just scattered everywhere, and those ones represent single crochet. So anywhere you see that, you do a single crochet. And basically what this will do is whenever you come across this icon, you can just come to this your key to see, oh, what does this icon mean? What am I supposed to do here? And that's what this is for. Now that we've written everything here and we've gotten it out of the way, the next thing we're going to do is to now start working this stitch. And you know we're going to start with the chains, but to know how many chains we're going to do, we're just going to count how many of these circles we have, because again, like I said, each one represents 1 chain. So we just count the total, and that's the number of chains we're going to do. So let's count together. It is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25. So we have 25 chains as our foundation chain, and then we have 3 more chains added, and these 3 more chains are the turning chains, because you'll notice that it forms part of the row 1. But we're going to now do 28 chains, and let me just do that before we begin our row 1. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 24 25 26 27 and 28. Now I have my 28 chains done, and the next thing I'm going to do is to go back to the diagram to see. Now I've just finished 28 chains, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. This is the 1st chain from the hook, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and in the 4th I do a double crochet there, then I do a double crochet again in the next chain. So I do 2 double crochets in the 4th and the 5th chain from the hook. This is the 1st chain from the hook, 2nd chain from the hook, 3rd, and in this 4th chain I do a double crochet, and in the very next one I do another double crochet in the very next chain. Now that I'm done with these 2 double crochets, I do a chain 2 and I skip 2 chains, right? I'm skipping these 2 chains because, as you can see, there is nothing in these 2 chains. So chain 2, skip 2 chains, and do a single crochet in the next. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 2, and do a single crochet in the next. And here now, then I chain 2, skip 2 chains again, and then I do a double crochet in the next, 3 double crochets in the next, and double crochet in the next. So I chain 2, right, I skip 2 chains, and then I do 1 double crochet in the next chain, 3 double crochets in the next chain, and then 1 double crochet in the next chain. I'm just going to do that now. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 2, then in the next one I do 1 double crochet, in the one after that I do 3 double crochets in that same chain. 1, 2, and then 3, and then I come and do 1 more double crochet in the next chain. So all together I have 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that I'm done with all of this, I go back to the diagram. I've just finished this set of 5 double crochets here. So I chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains. I do the set of 5 double crochet, which is double crochet in the next, 3 double crochets in the next chain, double crochet in the next. So from here on the pattern is pretty repetitive, so let's just do it together. And when I'm almost at the end here, I'm going to come back so we can do it together. So the last thing we've done here is a set of 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I chain 2, then I skip 2 chains and do a single crochet in the next. Then I chain 2, I skip 2 chains, and I do my set of 5 double crochet, which is double crochet in the next chain, 3 double crochets in the next chain. 1, 2, 3. Then I do 1 double crochet in this next chain to complete the 5. Now I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I do a chain 2, I skip 2 chains again, I single crochet in the next, then I chain 2. Now I have 4 chains left. I'm going to go back to the diagram to see how I'm supposed to end this row. So I've done the single crochet and this last chain, so I'm going to skip 2 chains as per usual. Then I do a double crochet in the next chain, and in the very last chain I do 2 double crochets. So I'm just going to be ending with 3 double crochets. So I skip 2 chains as usual. Then in the next one I do 1 double crochet, and in the last chain I do 2 double crochets. And that brings me to the end of my row 1. This is what it looks like here. Now to begin row 2, I go back to the diagram, and for row 2 we're starting with a chain 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and do a double crochet in the very first double crochet. Let me do that. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then return, and in this very first double crochet I do 1 double crochet. Then I go back to the diagram. So the next thing is to do a chain 1, skip the next double crochet and do a double crochet in the next, right? So chain 1, skip this double crochet, and in the next double crochet we put 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip this double crochet, and in this next one we put 1 double crochet. Go back to the diagram. I've just finished this double crochet, so I chain 2, double crochet in the next, double crochet. Just going to go back. Chain 2, I skip all of this, and this is the next double crochet. I put a double crochet there. Now I'm here, so I chain 1, right? I chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and in the next one, which is the middle double crochet of the 3 in the previous row, that's in the middle one, I do a double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, then I chain 1 and double crochet in the next. Let's just do that. I chain 1, I skip this next double crochet, and in this one, which is the middle, the third double crochet of the chain 5, I do of the 5 double crochets, I do double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then I chain 1 again, I skip this next double crochet, and in this one I do a double crochet. The pattern is pretty repetitive from here, but you can click the link in the description box. You find a link to download this diagram in the description box, so you can click that to download the diagram and you can work with it as well. So from here, I'm going to do a chain 2. I skip all the stitches, and in the next double crochet, which is here, I do a double crochet, chain 1. In the middle double crochet of the set, I do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in that same stitch. Then I chain 1, I skip the next double crochet, and in the next one I do a double crochet, then I chain 2, and I skip everything here. In the next double crochet, which is here, I do a double crochet, I chain 1, I skip this double crochet, and in the very last one, which is the very last double crochet, which is our chain 3 from the previous row, I do 2 double crochets just like the diagram says, which I'm going to show you right now. That's the end of our row 2. So this is what I currently have. So I just ended the row 2 here with this 2 double crochets in the chain 3 from the previous row. I've just ended the row 2. Now to go on to row 3, I chain 1 and do single crochet in the very first double crochet, and then I chain 2. Let me do that. Chain 1, turn. In the very first double crochet, which is here, I do a single crochet, and then I chain 2. Now I go back to the diagram. I've just done this single crochet and chain 2. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do 5 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Right, let me do that first. So this is the chain 2 space here. I'm going to do 5 double crochets there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I go back to the diagram. I finished these 5 double crochets. Now I'm going to do chain 2, single crochet in the middle of the double crochet, chain 1 double crochet from the previous row. This is like a V stitch, so I chain 2, single crochet in the V, chain 2, 5 double crochets in the chain 2 space from the previous row, chain 2, single crochet in the V, chain 2, 5 double crochets in the chain 2 from the previous row. So that's what we're going to be doing till we get to the end of this row. I've just finished 5 double crochets right here, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is chain 2, and then this is the V. You can see this is the V here. I'm going to do a single crochet in the middle there, then I chain 2 again, and I do my 5 double crochets in this chain 2 space from the previous row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I chain 2 again. This is the next V. In the middle here, I do my single crochet, chain 2 again, then in the next chain 2 space I do my 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So to finish this row, as you can see, I'm almost at the end. I'm just going to chain 2, and then I do a single crochet in the chain 3 from the previous row, and that brings me to the end of my row 3. This is what my project looks like at row 3. Now to go to row 4, I've just finished row 3 here. To go to row 4, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to chain 4 and then double crochet in the next double crochet. One, 2, 3, 4. Then this is the very first double crochet. I'm going to double crochet there. I go back to the diagram. So I've done the chain 4 double crochet in the very first double crochet. Then I chain 1 and in the middle there, in the third double crochet from the 5 that I did in the previous row, I do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, as you can see. Then I chain 1, skip 1 double crochet and double crochet in the next, and then I do my chain 2, and I start again with the double crochet, chain 1, do my V-stitch in the third double crochet from the previous row, then I chain 1 and double crochet, and we're just going to do that together now. It's quite easy. So I've done the very first double crochet. Now I'm just going to chain 1, and this is the second. In the third double crochet, I do a V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then I chain 1 again, I skip the next double crochet, and in the last one I do 1 double crochet, and I'm done with this cluster here. And I chain 2, and I start all over again. I do the double crochet in the very first double crochet, I chain 1, I skip the next double crochet, and in the third double crochet I do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then I chain 1 again, skip the next double crochet, and in the last double crochet there I do 1 double crochet. So this is what we're going to be having. This is what it looks like. And I chain 2, I move on to the next 5 double crochet cluster. I do a double crochet in the very first double crochet, I chain 1, and I skip the next double crochet. Right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, when I do a double crochet in the first one, I skip the next one, and in the third one I do my V-stitch of double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, I chain 1 again, skip the next stitch, and in the last one I do a double crochet. Now to finish this row, I'm just going to chain 1 and put a double crochet in the single crochet from the beginning of the previous row, and that brings me to the end of row 4. So to begin my row 5, I chain 3, then I do double crochet in the very first double crochet, and then I do double crochet in the next double crochet. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now in this very first double crochet we do a double crochet, and then in the next double crochet, which is this one, we do another double crochet. And I go back to the diagram. Now I chain 2, and then I do a single crochet in the middle of that V. I chain 2 again. Let me just do that first. Chain 2. This is the V here. I do a single crochet in the middle, then I chain 2 again, and I go back to the diagram. I've just done this chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. Now the next thing I'm going to do is a double crochet in the next double crochet, not the double crochet of the V, the double crochet after the V. I do a double crochet there, and then in the chain 2 space I do 3 double crochets, and in the next double crochet I do 1 double crochet. I'm just going to demonstrate that now so you can see. So here we go. I've done my chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. So the next thing we're going to do is to put a double crochet here. This is the next double crochet. This is the double crochet of the V. This is double crochet after the V here. So I do my double crochet there, and then I do 3 double crochets in this chain 2 space here. 1, 2, and 3. And then the next double crochet, which is here, I do my last double crochet. So now I have 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next thing I'm going to do now is chain 2, single crochet in the V, in the middle of the V, chain 2 again, double crochet in the next double crochet, 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space, and then 1 double crochet in the next double crochet. So you want to have 5 double crochets, which we have already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I chain 2, I do my single crochet in the middle of the V, chain 2 again, double crochet in the next double crochet, and then remember we did 4 chains at the beginning of the previous row. Now in the third of that chain, which serves as the top of our chain of our double crochet, we're going to do the last, we're going to do 2 more double crochets there, which is what the diagram says, and that was also how we started, if you remember. And that brings us to the end of row 5. This is what we have. So we go back to the diagram now. It's in here. So this is the next row, chain 3, double crochet in the very first, and I want to just let you know that the pattern now repeats itself. So you notice that this row 1, 2, let me just number the rows so we're not confused. This is row 1, row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now, and we've just finished row 5 here. This is row 5 that we just finished, 5 here. Now this is the beginning of row 6. You notice that this row 6 is exactly the same thing with our row 2. Just see, we're starting row 6 with chain 3 double crochet in the very first double crochet. Row 2 is the same thing, chain 3 double crochet in the first double crochet. And you can just see basically that the row 6, everything in the row 6 is the same thing as what we did in row 2. So from here on, you're just going to be repeating the pattern. So from row 5, so you just want to be repeating from rows 2 to 5 until you get to the length that you want for your project. So just keep repeating rows 2 to 5 until you get to the length that you want. So that row 3 is exactly the same thing with row 7. It's the same thing. So this is the pattern repeats from row 2 to row 5 until you get to the length you want. So I'm just going to do row 6 with you now, even though it's a repeat of row 2. You can watch with me and then just rewind to keep going. But basically you just want to repeat from row 2 to 5 till you get to the length that you want when you're working with this stitch. So let's do row 6 now. It says chain 3 double crochet in the very first double crochet, chain 3, turn. This is the very first double crochet and we do a double crochet there. Now the next thing is to do a chain 1, skip 1 double crochet and double crochet in the next, then you chain 2, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and you do your V stitch in the third double crochet from the previous row. The V stitch is double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, then you chain 1, skip the next double crochet and double crochet in the next, chain 2, and then just repeat. So we're just going to be doing that. I've done my very first double crochet, so I chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and in the next one I do a double crochet, and I chain 2, I do my double crochet here in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip the next double crochet which is here, and in the next one, this next one is the third double crochet from the previous row. I do a V stitch which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the exact stitch, and I chain 1 again, skip 1 double crochet and do my double crochet in the last double crochet of the 5 from the previous row. So this is the 5 double crochets we did in the previous row. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're doing the first double crochet in the first of that double crochet, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and in the third double crochet you do your V stitch of double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and the chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and you do a double crochet in the last double crochet, and that's basically what that is. Then you chain 2 and repeat it for the next 5 double crochet clusters, double crochet in the first, chain 1, skip the next, double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet in the third, chain 1, skip the next and do 1 double crochet in the last double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the first, double crochet, chain 1, and in the very last stitch, which is the chain 3 at the beginning, we're just going to do 2 double crochets in there to end our row 6. That brings me to the end of row 6. So again, you can just keep repeating the pattern. So for row 7, you're going to repeat row 3, and for row 8 you repeat row 4. So basically just keep repeating rows 2 to 5 until you get to the length that you want for this project. And if you want your project to be wider than this, right, you just work in multiples of 8 plus 1. Multiples of 8 plus 1. So if you remember, we did 25 chains at the beginning here, so that's 24 is a multiple of 8, and then you add 1, so you can just do 32 chains plus 1, 40 chains plus 1, 80 chains plus 1, just work in multiples of 8 plus 1. And to make it longer like this, just keep repeating rows 2 to 5. Make sure to like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my tutorials. Thank you so much for watching these tutorials, guys, and I'm going to see you in my very next video. Bye.